Welcome, Pioneers. We're back at it for another SHU Sports Report. I'm Diana Canizaro, and alongside with me is Kara Levine. And Kara, the women's volleyball team has really been off to a great start in NEC play. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about it?
They sure are. SHU Volleyball is already making a statement, adding another 2 wins as they make their way through their conference schedule. This past Friday, the women's volleyball team defeated St. Francis U 3-0. The first set was close, but even with score stalling at a 17-17 tie, the Red Flash could not get past the Pioneers, who won it 25-20. SHU led the second set 25-19, and then the third set 25-17. Sarah Krufka, Kiki Robinson, Allison Riggs, and freshman Liselle Nels gave great performances to help the Pioneers push through for a 3-0 victory. And they didn't stop there. On Sunday, Sacred Heart came into the game even stronger, defeating the returning NEC champions Robert Morris in another dominant sweep. Right off the bat, the Pioneers took a huge lead, which included 8 consecutive serves from Allison Riggs in the first set, and the second set was the closest of the match, standing within 3 points. But the Pioneers never gave up and closed out the match 25-21. The Pioneers have dominated in the NEC so far, extending their win streak to 8, improving their record to 4-0 in conference play and 11-6 overall. They'll travel to Rhode Island to face their conference opponent Bryant on October 8th. Today we've got Kyle DeVico in our update corner ready to give us the rundown on this week's Pioneer sports. Kyle?
Thanks, Kara. The Sacred Heart women's soccer team opened Northeast Conference play with a 3-0 win over Robert Morris on Sunday. The Pioneers dominated at home, outshooting the Colonials 14-3, sealing the win with goals from Kim McNally, Melanie De Silva, and Emily DeWitzik. Women's soccer will be back in action on Friday, October 7th at 12 p.m. Women's field hockey dropped Sunday's game against UMass Lowell 5-0 at Johnson Field. Rebecca Hauser led the Pioneers' offense with 3 shots as the team falls to 0-10 on the year. SHU hits the road next weekend to face Siena on October 9th in a 6 p.m. contest. The Sacred Heart men's golf team concluded play at the McDonald Cup Sunday at the course at Yale in 14th place. Tom DeAndrea was the Pioneers' top finisher at the 3-round tournament, tying for 38th overall. He finished 9 over par, with his 1 over par in the second round being his best round of the weekend. The Pioneers were plus 43 in the tournament, shooting their best team round of 292 on Sunday. They finished 3 strokes behind Fordham for 14th place. Sacred Heart will compete in the Connecticut Cup next week at Ellington Country Club on October 10th and 11th. That's all for today. Check back next week for another recap on SHU Sports.
Thanks, Kyle. In just a moment, we're going to head to our Coach's Corner, where we'll be joined by the women's rugby head coach, Michelle Reed, to discuss the season so far as they make their way through the sophomore campaign in Division I play. But before we get to that, let's revisit SHU's football's road game from this past Saturday. The Sacred Heart football team traveled down to Staten Island to open up conference play against the Wagner Seahawks. Wagner got ahead early on in the game, and SHU could not seem to stop their offense. Nate Chavius ended the first half with an impressive 99-yard kick return for a touchdown, leaving Wagner on top 39-20. This was the first game of the season that the Pioneer defense came up short, ending their previous streak of holding their opponent scoreless in the second half, but they did limit them to only 6 points. It was a competitive game of football, but the Pioneers took their first loss of the season with a final score of 45-20. Byron Barney had a career-high 5 receptions for 103 yards, while Moses Webb and Andrew O'Neill both had 6 receptions and a touchdown each. The Pioneers will head into a bye week and then hit the road again to take on Cornell next Saturday, October 15th. Well, now we'll hand it over to Aaron, who is sitting down with head coach Michelle Reed to give us an inside look at the Pioneer women's rugby team. Aaron?
Thanks, Diana, and thank you for joining us today, Coach.
Thank you for having me.
You honor your senior class this Saturday. Could you tell us a bit about what this quartet has meant to Sacred Heart Rugby as a program?
Sure. We have Charlotte, Kate, Emily, and Sarah, who came over from the original club team. And they've done a lot of changes in their lives to commit to the D1 atmosphere that we have on campus with our rugby program. So they individually made sacrifices and with those sacrifices, they've helped build what we have now, and they become the foundation of what we want for team culture, for the way they play the game. They stepped up, especially this fall in preseason, in the last 3 games that we've had, and they've brought so much energy and desire to be better than they were before, and it's lit a fire under the team. So they understand how much hard work has gone into that transition last year, where they were and where they want to be, and they also know that they only have this year to do something about it. So they have been very, very important piece to building what we'd like our program to look like for the future.
And you blanked Castleton in your last outing, 56-0. What strides has the team made early on in this season?
You know, the first game we played against Molloy, it was you could see us just kind of stumbling everywhere, trying to figure out who was going to be where on the field, what our chemistry was. We had new players coming in, new recruits who had never played with the vets. So going from Molloy to this past game in Castleton was just completely different team. There was flow, there was communication. You could hear everyone talking to each other. You could see the passing. People knew where their teammates were going to be. And I had people in the stands, fans, tell me they just looked like a completely different team. And it was just so much better to watch. And of course, confidence was built, and they loved that game. And they could see where they could go and where the hard work has paid off. So it was fun to watch.
Yeah, you need those games.
Yes, we do.
With that being said, what are you looking forward to with the squad going forward, especially your newer members of the team?
We really like to, I always say it's not about the W's, it's the team culture. So if you build that team culture, the wins are gonna follow. So we're really working on that foundation of character, love the struggle, we earn everything. We really work for what we have. So what we're looking for is to bring that over to the future generations of hard work gets you where you want to be, and then we'll see those wins start coming in. So I'm looking for those new kids to come in with motivation, with resilience, with aggression, competitive aggression, knowing that we're a full contact sport. So you're learning the game. Some of them are learning the game. Some of them played for 4 years. But to combine it together and build something that Sacred Heart can be proud of.
Okay. Westchester is our next opponent. What can fans expect this Saturday when they come out to the game?
Westchester is a very good team. They're highly competitive. They've been around as a varsity program for 10 years. So they're established. They're aggressive. They're hard-hitting. So we're looking forward to a very competitive game. It's going to give us an idea of where we stand, where have we really improved, what do we look like. So you can really expect an exciting, fun, hard-hitting game. I think it's going to be a fun one and very competitive.
Great. Looking forward to it.
Thanks.
Rugby's last home game of the season is this Saturday at 12 p.m. Be sure to come out and celebrate the Rugby seniors as they take on the Westchester Golden Rams.
Thanks, Aaron, and thank you once again to Coach Reed for joining us today. That's all we have for you, fellow Pios. As always, check back with us every Wednesday for all things SHU sports. I'm Cara Levine, and for Aaron Burrell, Diana Canizero, and Kyle DeVico, thank you and have a great week.